Alright, here we go for a spot in the grand final. Capcom Pro Tour action continues.
They're just really quiet, I think, to be honest.
IamChuan just really wants to kind of put those booms out on the screen, put some space between he and Ibuki.
This is really hard to punish, that whiff target combo, by the way. Anyway, this is losers finals. Xian versus Chuan. It's Malaysia, Singapore. The other person in finals, SKZ, is also Singapore. Sonic Boom. I'll just do the audio myself. Yeah. Ugh. Sonic Boom. It's easier than a guy I don't recognize, actually. Sonic Boom.
You're seeing that Xian is being really, really patient here. You're probably wondering why. It's because he's got that V trigger.
Here you go. Anyway, matchup that we've seen quite a lot. 50-50. That was, he could have gone into the corner there, but that 50-50 is kind of bad against Guile, right? Because it's a good mix-up. Smart from Xian. He's a really smart player, right? You don't want to take the left-right against Guile because Guile can flash kick. So that's why, in this instance, see how he dashes up. And instead of doing the target combo into left-right here, he just blocks in front and delays because flash kick's a big threat. So left-right against Guile is kind of weak. Second thing is, notice in this instance here where he does the caltrop, notice the setup he chooses to go for is walk-up jump. This will beat flash kick, right? This is a really good option when you have caltrop out because Guile flash kick is just going to go flying the other way, and just walk-up jump still means that the caltrop will put you on block stun, right? It's down there on the bottom. So now you can just punish. Get the stun. Yeah, push him into the caltrop. Yeah, no kill. Too much scaling.
He could have opted to put some meter on that, but yeah.
That was good not the DP from Xian. Notice that Chuan looked for it in both times. This is the classic DP. This is the revenge DP. You know when you block a jump in that you could have uppercut, and then right after you EX DP it? You guys have done this before. I've done this before. Everybody does it. When you block a jump that you should have anti-aired, you just immediately mash DP, right? So that's why Chuan blocks here, just in case. He's like, okay, is Xian going to do the revenge DP? He doesn't do it. Waits again, right? Delayed back throw. Now Xian can DP. Chip? That's not chip, is it? That's way too much. Oh! What is V-trigger Hurricane on block? I actually have no idea what the frame data is on it. It's +5? Are you serious? I did not know it was that plus. That's hilarious. He just chipped them down and was like, I'm cool. I didn't know it was plus. I honestly had no idea. I know it's different. I know it was different from the regular critical art, right? I don't think the regular critical art is +5. But in V-Trigger, he has Hurricane instead of, what's it called? Tempest. He has Sonic Tempest or whatever it is. -39 on regular. Yeah, it's punishable on regular. I didn't realize it was +5. That's tight. Guile's great in this version, by the way. He's a really solid character. I think a lot of people think that he's one of the strongest characters in this version. Somebody in my chat was saying that they wanted to play him for the YouTube VOD. So I think if you're interested in Guile, that's stun. Oh, you son of a bitch. He didn't even get the stun anyway. I think, nice. I think playing Guile in this version is a great idea. To be honest, Guile hasn't really had a lot of bad versions in this game. Even in Season 1, where he wasn't fantastic, he had good matchups against Chun, which is an important character. And I think he is pretty solid. He hasn't really had a bad version in this game, honestly. Guile has always been solid.
Yeah, in those games, I really felt like Xian was really, again, kind of timid in his play.
Yeah, Guile hasn't had a bad season, I don't think. Ibuki either, I guess, right? Both of them maybe Season 1. Guile has been a little worse in some seasons, but he's always been fine. You don't think you can learn the V-trigger combo? It's not that bad, trust me. You also don't have to have it. You can always just use it for something else. That buffer's really good. Standing light kick into DP or Raida from Ibuki is really, really solid. Bing. Does he take the left right this time? Yeah, he played it a little safe there. Again, walked back, walked forward throw. Took the damage that time. I like the way that he chose the pressure too. Like you see the little walk right here. He walks back, he walks up into throw range, and then waits like right outside throw range, and then chooses to commit.
there's a meter gain, back throw.
Nice. That's a good round from Xian. This matchup's a bit of a grind, right? With, you know, forever ago they did the nerf on Ibuki to make it so that old man Cars could drop the big tier 1. Thanks very much. Ibuki is a little bit worse at approaching because her jump EX kunai is a little bit worse. Right, so that means it's a little bit more tough for Guile. Although he still has the issue of if you want to flash kick jump EX kunai, you have to use EX. It's tough to beat it without it, right? So when she has meter, that's a big threat. Big punish. Oh no! That's a link, yeah. That's unfortunate. He could have got more. Rida. Yeah, that's the round. Yeah, that was going to be release into critical art. Beat down. How was Ibuki before V Trigger 2? Very good. She had bomb setups that were really strong. And then they like took it away and gave her V Trigger 2, which has been really strong as well. Which has now been nerfed, the activation of it, but the mix-up of it is still really potent. I haven't seen B stars, no. Yeah, bomb setups are still fine. I just think people think V Trigger 2 is easier to use, and it gets the same kind of effective mix-up that you're okay with. Well, the bomb was unseeable visually, but even this mix-up, you still have to guess on the left-right. Remember when Ibuki had EX kunai into air target combo 50-50 mid-screen anyway? That was really powerful. Yeah, that was Season 2 Ibuki.
Despite how stubby a lot of
nice whiff punish. That is really good matchup knowledge from Chuan. This is a really strong showing of matchup knowledge. This setup from Ibuki is extremely common, right? Standing medium kick, standing medium punch after the activation. This sets you up so that you will command dash as a reset, left or right, and Chuan just flash kicks. Because he doesn't care if you command dash in the front, he doesn't care if you command dash in the back. You flash kick and you get hit airborne. Look at how much damage the shuriken did to Chuan's health. That's nothing. That's like a jab's worth of damage. And look at how much damage Xian took from the flash kick. And Guile's up. He's out of there. Really smart defensive option from Chuan. That's him knowing the exact situation and setups Xian was going to put him in. And just like making the best of it. Really good trade. Yeah, his anti-airs here have been great. Yeah, he's been walking. So two things, right? Ibuki's EX kunai is kind of like a dive kick. In that you want to space it so that the explosion is hitting you in a way that makes you plus. And by walking, notice how he constantly walks forward when he wants to anti-air. You see this? The reason you walk forward is so that the EX kunai is misspaced, or if she chooses to commit to regular jump, you can crouching heavy punch. Against dive kick characters, which EX kunai is it's pretty much like a dive kick. Against dive kick characters, walking forward and blocking is very strong. It throws off the spacing of their dive kicks and makes them more negative. This is extremely good matchup knowledge. Walk up, crouching heavy punch. He's done that a few times. He's walked up and neutral jumped or walked up and crouch blocked to make the what's it called? To make the anti-airs a little bit better for him. You see how, yeah, even right there, that time he just walks up and throws. And then if he's looking for the jump in, walk up block. You see, walk up. That makes it so that Xian has to be a little bit more careful about his walk up, and now you can throw booms because Xian is worried about the walk up, right? That's the attitude is, I can throw booms because Xian is, look, perfect. This is perfect understanding of how your character works, right? Notice that after this throw break, he starts throwing booms, and notice that Xian is buffering jab, he's walking up, he's trying to buffer light kick here to catch his walk up, and the booms are just now harassing him. So what you do is, you walk up block for the anti-air, or you walk up challenge with a button to make Xian scared. Xian thinks, okay, he's going to walk up on me. It's time to hit a normal. It's time to do a buffer. And then what does the Guile player do? Sonic boom, sonic boom. You're sitting there trying to wait for his walk up or normals, and you're like, fuck, he's throwing booms. All right, it's time to jump. So you switch back to wanting to jump, and then Guile looks for the jump, and he anti-airs, right? Or he just makes you miss-space your kunai. He's thrown so many booms now that it's either time to approach or wait for Xian, right? Yeah, see, that's when you approach with that button, that forward medium kick. And right there, that was Xian being aware of the ground movement. So Chuan was kind of like I think he was overstating that he was going to throw booms here. This is a little bit too much like, okay, I'm going to throw booms, I'm going to throw booms. He approaches a bit too much here. 50-50 here. I don't think you can get behind very easily there. Yeah, he would have had to commit to like a dash or something to get behind. V-reversal was good. EX Rida even better. It's projectile invincible. That's good punish. Not dead. Wait for the jump. That's why he delayed the EX boom, was just in case he jumped.
Oh, double view reversal here to keep Ibuki in the
Fucking
corner.
cheater,
No,
Xian.
side.
He's got to commit to something here. He's got no kunai left. Nice. This wake up option from Xian is so smart. V reversaling the V reversal puts Xian on a pixel. I love this option. Guarantees you the mix up here 50-50. Xian just wakes up with jump forward because he's like, all right, you're not going to meaty me. And I'm just going to commit to it. Jump forward, kunai release. This hits in the front.
Reversal here to keep Ibuki in the corner. No, same side.
Oh, it's anyone's game here now. Great delayed throw check from Chuan. That was a really ball.
Nice. I like that low medium kick a lot.
Chuan takes game number
Yeah.
3. It is
Xian is a fucking cheater, man. Jump EX, jump kunai release on wake up.
sorry, this 4th game, he's going to be up against SKZ.
Where was Z for this top 8? He lives in NorCal, dude. Imagine him doing commentary at 3 in the morning or whatever.
He's a guy who
He's got a job.
in 2018 in CPT Online, second place in 2017. My man was forged in these fires. Forged in these fires of online. I mean,
Yeah, you just came here. I was raised in it. What's the quote? All right.
sounds about right.
That's a trade you don't really want, actually, as Ibuki. The damage is in your favor, but you want the crush. One thing to talk about. This matchup, obviously, he's grinding him down with booms. The booms force the jump. The jump is forced here. Notice how Chuan walked up to try to, like, block it in front. It's very hard to beat the regular kunai here. Or you have to have flash kick to beat regular kunai. You have to have EX flash kick to beat EX kunai. It's tough.
I think that he's really
Not easy to beat something like that. Great spacing on the kunai.
With the air kunai, great crouching medium kick.
I want to talk about this throw range again, actually. One thing that you see strong players do a lot, let's watch this in slow-mo. We'll do 0.25. You see that little walk right there? This is something really important to point out in this game. So in this game, obviously, throw mix-ups are quite scary, right? Notice how before Xian throws, he walks back to create a little bit of extra distance and then throws at like the max distance you can throw someone. The reason you do this is that you want to throw at the absolute farthest distance. So if you do choose to walk out of their throw range and do a button, you're right on the borderline between is this in throw range, is this not in throw range? And you also make yourself much safer. So like if you're point blank and you try to walk back to bait a throw, you might get thrown. Or Guile can wake up, crouching light kick, crouching jab, flash kick, and catch the walk back. So in situations like this, throwing at max distance is really important because you put yourself in a much safer range to do throw or no throw. You don't have to worry about your normal getting thrown or anything like that, right? So walking back first is an important skill that you see a lot of people do. Putting yourself at just the max distance. Little things like that make your offense stronger.
With the air kunai, great crouching medium kick, just stuffing the sonic boom start up now.
Ouch.
Looking for a punish with that.
Wow, he got under?
Comes Xian on the other side.
Yeah, he tried to throw bait there. I like the backdash on wake up. It loses to meaty crouching light kick, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, I usually use light, medium, heavy, but sometimes I say sweep or fierce or whatever.
doing some really questionable things here in this last round.
You could get out of throw range and whiff it a throw on purpose, but you don't have to do that. You can just walk back and then walk in and out. You don't have to actually do an action. The reason people tech is not because they see the throw a lot of the times. It's because they feel the throw because you walk forward into their range like, oh god, I'm going to get thrown.
This EX kunai pressure from Xian has been
Ha, that was a good dasher.
Man, Guile's a lucky. Crush cat.
He was pretending. He was like, oh, I'll just back up here.
Flashing for them is really just the same as
It's
regular
good.
flash.
It's good
Yeah,
kunai
down
from
up,
Xian.
No problem.
That's a very good point, isn't it? These charge characters have it a bit easier over the command.
And Xian is so good. It's really difficult to play against a character like Guile and interrupt his forward movement because you're so focused on the booms a lot of times that like stopping actual forward movement and buttons and stuff and anti-airing is really hard. Even this mix-up, the light kick to fake which side he's going to be on.
Command characters when, oh, look at this.
He got countered it too. I wonder if he throw tech or something. Uh-oh.
Count drops, though. Let's see the mix.
I like
No,
that
doesn't wanna
block.
deal with it again.
The caltrops were an extremely safe choice there, right? Because you have the meaty and like you probably reset here. Yeah, the caltrops make that super safe. He doesn't even have to worry about whether Guile will flash kick or not, right? You just do it, and like if he flash kicks, you block, and if he doesn't flash kick, the caltrops put him in block stun, and you're like, okay, and then you just like go for pressure after.
From a mile away, isn't he?
It's a really safe option. I think if you're Chuan, you don't want to deal with the left to right on the command dash, so you want to flash kick, but you might want to delay it so that Xian at least waits to see if you block the caltrops or not.
I'm interested to know if
It's a hard spot to be in though, right? Because I mean, if he just commits to the mix-up and you don't flash kick, you die. So you're like, well, that sucks. Yeah, you see the walk up, walk forward, and crouching heavy punch to try to anti-air there. The difference in that situation is really important. So notice the first kunai that gets thrown. Ah. The difference between the two kunais, right? So there's the one at the beginning of the match where he walks forward and the kunai hits him because he tries a crouching fierce. Notice that even though the kunai hits him, he's not in a bad position here, right? He might even be plus. Notice the kunai that's blocked farther out here. He has to respect much more, right? He's more scared of it. That's why walking forward is a good option. Walking forward means that Ibuki will be less plus after something like that.
Just to make it that bit more filthy.
Yeah, the grease.
That forward medium kick is such a good button. There's the flash kick. It's not easy to walk forward and then flash kick either, right? So, oh. Sonic boom. I like that Xian walked back there to reset the spacing. Because Chuan was walking up so much, I think you maybe want to restart on the neutral. He's been getting beat up this round. Nice. Yeah, he's just going to take the corner carry here. I think that's a smart choice. See, that's what I meant about the Caltrops. He's really safe. There's no reason for him to overcommit. Great challenge. Oh yeah, the ad. We'll do it after this. Before the grand finals. Counter hit DP can land a light kick, or counter hit kunai can give you light kick DP after, but it depends on the spacing. If it hits point blank, you can get punished, even if it's counter hit. So it really depends on where the kunai hits. And when Jake loves turtle, drop the big prime. Thanks very much. Good block. Can't let him jump out of the corner here. That's the important thing. If you're Xian, you have to... Notice where Xian is standing here too, right? So when he's controlling the corner, notice the range Xian stays at, right? Always, the key is, this is something very important. If you want to control the corner, stand under the timer. The most important way to control the corner is to stand under the timer. When you do this, you prevent the character from just jumping over you, right? So if Ibuki was right here, Guile can just get a cross up and get out of the corner. You see that? So if Ibuki is here instead, right? If this is Ibuki, so she's got her little head, and then she's got the little ponytail, and then this comes out of it, right? This comes out, and she's got her little body down here, and her legs. If that's Ibuki, Guile just crosses her up, right? And he just gets out of the corner. But if you want to control the corner correctly, you stand under the timer. See that? Just put your character right under the timer. So notice how even when Xian commits to a normal here, where that puts him forward, he's going to want to walk back here, right? He wants to challenge and then walk back. You see that? He walks back here because he stays in the correct spot to thank Nando, who's right under the timer. Thanks very much. Or over the timer in this case. He walks back here just to maintain the same distance. And then walks up and checks. And even if he gets hit or something, you don't want to let Guile walk forward and then jump on you. That's the most important thing. So Chuan fights out with buttons, and that's a smart option considering, you know, Xian is walking around trying to control that space, but it's something you got to think about. Stand under the timer. It's a good place to control the corner from. Same thing with Chuan here, right? Notice where he puts himself. See that? Same idea. He does the exact same thing. This is instinctual, right? He walks back, he does crouching medium kick or whatever. Notice the spaces that he's at is a little too close here. He's got to walk back or he's going to get crossed up. So he walks back for the boom. Put yourself under the timer. When you're under the timer right here, you know, he can't just jump out for free, right? That EX kunai was the threat, but he just jumped away because he's got a lead. Put yourself under the timer. Oh, that's unfortunate. He'd backdash the kunai release mix-up. Xian's in a bad spot. No kunai here. Only V-trigger. He doesn't have space to reload because he's getting hammered by booms and buttons. He doesn't have the room to reload, right? That's why he threw the EX. This is really smart. Xian, his decision-making here, his strategy is always sound, right? He's never incorrect, I think, about strategy almost. He knows that Chuan thinks, like, I'm going to try to reload here. So notice how he neutral jumps. The most obvious thing for Ibuki to do here is reload your kunais, right? You're out. You got no kunai left. The most obvious thing to do would be to reload kunai. So Xian's strategy is very sound. Instead of reloading here, he doesn't get hit by the EX boom trying to reload. He just jumps forward. And then gets hit by the crouching medium kick. So he has no kunai for the mix-up, but he at least gets an opportunity for left-right. And now he has to press. He doesn't have room to reload. He's in a bad spot. He doesn't have jump EX kunai as a threat.
Much meter to work with. Ceiling's probably about 2 more touches. One touch will do it from Chuan.
He has like a EX rider to go through a boom, but it's still a pretty rough spot, right? Ah.
Oh, and that is it. Chuan taking it
Pretty nice.
over Xian, and Xian is going home. The pride of Singapore is out of there.
Well played from Chuan.
So well through this losers bracket.
He did a good job of mixing up his timing and making Xian uncomfortable, right? And Xian, you know, he tried to force, but this is a matchup where you have to force the issue, and if Guile does a good job of walling you, and especially the walk forwards by Chuan, really, really well done. No kunai left for Ibuki there is really, really rough too, because Guile is a character that you can't afford to reload against, especially on that low life situation. He just has too many ways to tag you for it. Put on a lot of pressure. He was throwing booms, fast booms constantly. He was following with buttons. He did a good job. Where are Guile's eyebrows?
Fantastic.
They got.